Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, the terrorist army of ISIS is stronger than ever. It maims, rapes, pillages, burns, and beheads in its zeal to commit religious genocide against anyone that disagrees with them. ISIS controls and manipulates the minds of thousands of foreign fighters, including those that come from the United States. This is done arrogantly through American social media companies. The U.S. answer to the ISIS threat? Well, let's see what it is. Part of the current U.S. strategy is to train foreign mercenaries to fight against ISIS. It's had a year-long American budget of about $500 million. The program is to equally fund equipment and to train these so-called moderates from Syria to fight ISIS. I call them mercenaries. However, the Secretary of Defense of the United States, Carter, admitted that even after this 1 year of training, the United States has only trained 60 of these moderate Syrian rebels. If I do my math correctly, Mr. Speaker, we are spending about $4 million apiece on these 60 fighters to go and fight supposedly ISIS. This is embarrassingly pathetic. The greatest nation that has ever existed sees ISIS as such a threat that we're going to send 60 folks over to try to take care of them. Ironically, there are more Americans fighting with ISIS than we have rebels that have been trained to fight against ISIS. The United States obviously is not taking ISIS seriously. ISIS even mocks the United States and its 60 fighters on, once again, American social media. There is more. The President has recently admitted that the United States really didn't even have a complete strategy against ISIS. Now, isn't that lovely? The question is, Mr. Speaker, is ISIS a national security threat to the United States? That is the question. That is the question that has to be answered by the administration and by Congress. And a decision needs to be made by the administration. It's time for the administration to pick a horse and ride it. If ISIS is a threat, then we must have a plan to defeat them. Then actively implement the plan and defeat ISIS. Mr. Speaker, the commander-in-chief needs to lead. He needs to command, or ISIS will continue its reign of terror in the Middle East and other parts of the world. And that's just the way it is. I yield back.